Well, hi, and welcome to another episode of my Leveraging Your Voice podcast. I'm Paul Rakowitz with PRVocalCoaching.com, and what I do is help people, usually professionals, who struggle with confidence in their speaking. And this podcast, Leveraging Your Voice, is meant to bring fellow business owners on and let them share their service and mission and passion with the world so they can leverage their voice, because that's what I'm all about. So that's why I do this podcast. And today we have another special guest, Tristan Parmley. Tristan, how are you?
I'm great, man. Thanks for having me. And also thanks for being my vocal coach. Great.
Thank you. Yeah, Tristan and I are connected in many ways. We did do some work with him. His voice is wonderful. And I happen to be a client of his with his service that we're going to talk about today, right?
Yeah. I like to think that I have a voice for photos, but you always tell me you like it, so I'll just take it. I'll take what I can get.
Well, I was working with somebody the other day and they asked me, they said, man, are you on the radio? You have a great radio voice. And my only response was, so are you calling me ugly?
Right.
So, all right. Now you're out in Chicago, right? Somewhere out that way?
Southern Indiana, actually. Bloomington, Indiana.
Oh, see, shows you how much I knew. We were talking about Chicago the other day.
Yeah.
Stuck in my head, so that's why I thought that. All right. Excellent. Excellent. Now, your business, what's the name of your business?
Media Team.
Media Team, not Remote Media.
Yeah, correct. Media Team. You can go to Media Team AI.
All right, good. Now, you guys are great because so many reasons, but one reason is Tristan is great, not only at all the stuff he does, but he's like super smart about all this stuff. So when he's talking to you, he's telling you stuff that is not only true, but it's like got all this stuff behind it that you'll never figure out. So you should just do what he says if you're working with him. So he said to me, hey, go record videos because we got to run these ads. Okay. So I go and record 10, 30 to 45-second videos. And look, they're not pretty or anything. And then he starts running ads and he shows them to me. And they're great. They look great. They're all professional and they got all this stuff going on. But that's not what I did. That's what you guys did. So he's really good at all this stuff. So what do you do? Who do you help and what do you do?
Yeah, so well, we have a platform at Media Team AI, and we're a media team platform built by media teams, helping media teams. And to us, what is a media team? Whether you're an info product like yourself, Paul, or a local business or an agency like ours, you have a team of content people. They maybe only record you, or they only edit you, or they only post you, or they only advertise you, but you've got a team. It's not something that one person can realistically master and do the other parts of their business. So we created a system for those teams. We help other teams. We are that media team for other brands.
I think one of the things that's important to a small business like myself is that very aspect. You are a media team because, one, I have no desire to learn how to do all of that.
Right.
And two, I don't want to pay someone directly to do all of that. I don't. I would rather have someone do it. And you guys just jump right in and that's what you do. So I now have a media team and it's you guys. And I really look professional. People ask me, who does those ads? They look great. Oh yeah, we do them. It's all good. So
right.
That's a powerful value that you deliver. So the people that you work with, how do you talk to them and help them get interested and help them understand if what you do is for them?
Well, the first thing we look at is how their business or brand or product is already doing. Mm-hmm. And we want to know if they've already tried this before, if this is something brand new that's never existed. And then based off of where they are and where they want to be, we go down different paths. Ultimately, not everybody needs to make like new ads, new content all the time. Some people, we have sending us new stuff almost every day. It just depends on the goal. It depends on the product. It depends on how big you want to go. If you're trying to build a brand and you want to be everywhere all the time, or how laser focused and sales driven you want to be on only making what you need for your ads to convert.
A very tailored service to the individual needs of the client.
Overall, I mean, think of it like a mechanic. You would think a mechanic is a tailored service because you can pull up and they fix your car. It's like, how do they know how to fix everyone's cars? Well, it's because everyone's cars are actually the same. They're just slightly different, maybe a little bit bigger, maybe a different, smaller, faster, more efficient, um, more seats, whatever it might be. And so, more like a marketing mechanic who we can only focus, do the assessment on only what you need to do, and then follow a plan of action that's going to make that work and get running for you.
All right, so that makes sense. And who is like your ideal client? I know we talk a lot about ideal clients, especially for all size businesses, especially for smaller businesses. But what is your ideal client?
Multi-product, multi-service businesses. If they sell one thing like a widget, there's only so much we can do with that. It's going to be boring. It's going to live with the seasons like fidget spinners did, right? They were this huge craze, and then now they're just like a normal thing, dime a dozen. Um, One product, it's kind of boring. Or one service, we can only do so much with that. That's not ideal. We could certainly help, but it's not ideal. Where we thrive is like a multi-product, multi-service business. That could be a local health business that has massage, acupuncture, chiropractic, and another treatment all under one roof.
Mm.
Why? Because if you have multiple products and multiple services, you have a unlimited amount of things to try to promote, to remix, to make content about. You can go with the seasons on some things, and you can have other things that you can bundle together and run together all the time. So we prefer those like multi-product, multi-service businesses. In the info space, like yourself, Paul, it can be you have a consulting coaching program helping people how to speak, but you also have a monthly membership to your modules that allow people to practice. And now you have two products to promote.
Mm-hmm.
The more products, services a business has, the more ideal they're going to be for us because we're going to be able to put our creative team to the test and make as many different photos and videos as possible without just being stuck and siloed in one thing.
That's cool. Now, how long have you been doing this? Because you're not like, from my observation, you're not 80 years old. So how long have you been doing this? Because you're really good at it and you got really good at it really fast. How long have you been at this?
I think I got really good at it really slow. I'm like Benjamin Button, actually. I feel 80 in this. This is going on year 10. Started in college and started as a way to pay the bills as a sophomore in college. Worked all that summer. I came in with all my cash in hand and paid my year's worth of rent, so I would for sure not be homeless. But I only had like $200 for food for the rest of the year. That was my like month budget, and I had a month to get a job or find a way to make money. And this was the path we started on. That was 10 years ago. So I feel like it's been slow, but in the
That's
grand scheme of
awesome and a
things,
great story. And it feels that way to me when I work with you, like you've just been doing it just like as a natural part of who you are and what you do. And I feel like you love it. Is that a correct sense when I'm working with you?
Yeah, the thing is, I really like the production, the creative, the direction around it. When I was younger, the iPods were coming out with the cameras, and now all of a sudden you could have a camera in your pocket like no problem. That wasn't like a still or wasn't my grandma's expensive camcorder that could only come out for holidays. And so me and my buddies would just video everything, and we would do dumb stuff and video it, and we would do fun stuff and video it, and it was the most fun I ever had with no skills and actually editing or like trying to make something beautiful with the camera. And so I always had an affinity for documenting cool stuff. And now I get to document cool people and I get to share cool people with the world and what they do instead of like just what me and my buddies are doing.
See, that's a great story. And it is the sense I get working for you is just the organic joy you have in what you're doing. And the knowledge that you have behind it is just like grew up with you it somehow. And you feel that so if you're looking to work with a media team, Tristan is a great choice and you'll have all those same feelings like I do, and it's great. And one of the things I like is with all the different people that you now work with as clients and have done so over the years, you know what things work and what things don't work. So not only are we getting from you this media team, but we're getting all kinds of knowledge about what worked for everyone else. So I don't have to relearn everything that didn't work. So
Right. Right.
that's like a beautiful thing from that people get when they work with you.
Yeah, it'd be the same as somebody who feels like their voice is super unique and nobody could help them with it, but because you've helped so many people, there's almost like nothing you haven't seen before in that lane, right? And for me, when it comes to video ads, I have a folder of thousands of my favorite ads that I've been saving for like 5 years. Just every day I see 1 to 5 ads I really like from different markets. I don't pay for premium on anything because I like the ads. I'm in like a world of market free research because
Right.
if they're spending money on it and I see it more than once or twice or 3 times, that ad is working. Like if you only see an ad once, it didn't work.
Yeah.
But you think about the legendary commercials or jingles or whatever that you can remember or you've seen dozens of times,
Now, did you
that's a
make
sign
the
of it.
Mean Joe Green ad, or that was before your time?
I think that was before my time.
That's funny. All right, so I threw that Mean Joe Green reference to you, but tell me some of the ads you remember from growing up that just like hit you and you just think, man, those were great.
Yeah, I mean, I think they get excited about the Super Bowl, right? Why it's Super Bowl commercials. For some people, it's the only reason that they watch. It's actually like we're in a consumer economy and everybody loves it. But as a kid, there was like the Bowflex commercials, right? And there were like the Mr. Clean, the bald guy. Like I remember thinking if we went to the store and we needed to get something to clean, just look for the bald guy
Mm.
on the pictures. And we needed a Bowflex. If I was gonna have big muscles one day, I need a Bowflex, right? As a kid, I was totally convinced by these ads, and there's so many. George Foreman, even the ShamWow guy, Billy Mays here with a special offer. Rest in peace to the goat. I think they just made great ads for so many years. They still do, and it's been exciting for me.
This whole ad thing, it is fun. If you don't take it too seriously, it really is fun. It is a serious business. I mean, you got to run your business, you got to develop leads and all that, but it'd be nice to have some fun with it too. And this sort of thing,
They're
is
like fun stocks. Imagine you could create your own stock, your own investment, your own asset. You could create it on yourself with your own idea and use it to make more money than it costs you. You make it one time and it works forever. That's what it's like. And for me, it's like being able to create my own stocks every day. And our clients are like portfolios of, stocks. It's
see,
pretty cool.
right. That's a great way to think about it. And I like that. And I'm thinking more and more of it like that. I love what we're doing together. One of the things I want to talk to you about is the idea of metrics that we want to monitor. In
Mhm.
my business, everything I do, and you've asked me questions, and I pull up stuff and I'm showing you my numbers and all that sort of thing. And I don't know how you run a business unless you know what numbers you're following to guide you and what the next steps are. So, what kind of numbers are we looking for? Are you looking for? Because I know when we talk, you're just like off the top of your head, oh, here's this number, here's that number, and you got all these things that you're looking at
Right.
and talking about and saying, oh, we're going to tweak this because of that and tweak that. But
Right.
tell us something about the numbers. And as you do that, talk to us a little bit about this concept of awareness, because that's directly connected to what you're doing as media team. So talk to us about that concept and then how you start to use numbers to support creating that awareness.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and this part is definitely for the more analytical people. It'll come back to creative, I promise. And I would be a disservice to not really like elaborate on what we're looking at because people obsess over the wrong things. We could be coming to a business that's never posted anything before. There are no numbers to analyze. So, like, where do you start from there? And that's assume that most people are starting from there because this would work as if you look backwards too when we audit an account. When it comes to videos, there's two numbers we really look at, a hook rate and a stop rate. The hook rate is how many people were hooked in and watched, 3 seconds or more. What percentage of people, because that is your best leading video that's going to get people to spend time with you. And then the next is the stop rate or, it's watch rate. How many people watched more than 75% of that video? So they stuck around. Because those ads are going to be the cheapest to distribute. They're usually going to have the most amount of likes, the most amount of comments, because you're getting consumption of the ads you're actually spending. So we start there. What are people actually watching from our brand? Let's go make more stuff about the things people watch the most and watch the longest. Then we go into what those do for our business, and we look at the click rate, the link click-through rate of what percentage of people click on this ad and come to our website. From there, we can look at our website and say what percentage our opt-in rate, what percentage of those people give us their information. From there, what percentage of those people book a call, what percentage of people show to a call, and what percentage of the people buy my thing.
I know it's all analytical, but I love this part of it.
Yeah, and it goes straight down the weeds, and like, I mean, not straight down the weeds, like straight down the line. It is logical, one after the other. Like, if you have small numbers at the bottom, one of your other numbers is not big enough. So either not enough people are watching. If you're getting small numbers, small sales, one of your other numbers is not big enough, right? And we've audited your account where these numbers have fluctuated over time. It's like they exist. You roll them out on a table or on a chart, and they can all fluctuate over different times, but there's a threshold, a good or bad, like bowling bumpers, that as long as you stay within inside, you'll knock some pins down. And that's what takes me back to the creative is these platforms want you to make more sales, because if you make more sales, you'll keep advertising with them. They want to know that each one of those metrics, they want to have all that tracked, and that's stuff that we help set up for our clients. Why? Because whatever's getting you the most sales is probably whatever's getting you the most engagement, and we're going to push that as cheap as possible. So those are the metrics that we're looking at, and then that's what we create around as well. We can now see if you're not getting any clicks, it's probably because no one's watching your content and no one's stopping on your content. So let's look at what did do the best of your bad performers, and let's make different things around the concept of what did work well. If we fix that problem, now people are clicking on your ads, but nobody's opting in. Let's look at what they're seeing on the page. Let's put a screen recorder on the page and see how they're doing. If they're opting in and they're not booking a call, let's tie down the call booking with a better part of the offer. Let's make it more obvious that they need to book a call to get the offer. Whatever it is, metric by metric, even if you don't do phone calls, you do in your business. Some people, they just sell something in the cart. They just sell information. They give access to a course. These different metrics are all available. It's what all marketers are managing. And we just happen to manage each part of that process, like top to bottom, and make new creative for.
Well, I love that what you do with it. And I also love what you bring to that conversation, because it's not like you're only working with me, but you're working with all kinds of people. So you have these numbers from all kinds of people. I love how my numbers are working. I think it's great. Now let's talk about that for a second, because a lot of times people will say things like, oh, to advertise, we need to create awareness. And we need to create awareness before we think about selling to them. And I was a little afraid of that, because I want to start running ads and start making sales all at the same time. I don't want to spend 6 months creating awareness while I'm spending money.
Right.
So what's your thoughts on that? Because I know we talked about that, and I can say on the video, we haven't had a month where we ran ads and didn't make money.
Yeah, that's
ran
pretty cool.
ads and didn't make enough sales to cover the costs and go over that, which is good, which means we can keep getting better. It's not just a money pit.
Correct.
So talk about that, because I know a lot of times people say, oh, that's not going to happen, and you got to do these other things, and it takes time. Well, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm not talking about building awareness before you sell. I'm talking about building awareness as you sell. I guess I could ask you a quick question. How many things have you bought on accident? If you had to give a number to the amount of things you have bought on accident, not on purpose, it just magically showed up and you don't know how or when you bought it. What number?
So when you say on accident, you mean I wasn't looking for it, I saw it and then bought it?
I mean, in general, you've probably purchased zero things by accident because if you checked your credit card and made a purchase that you didn't make, you went and got that money
Right.
refunded with
That's
it.
right. That's
No,
true.
so nobody buys anything on accident.
Right.
So what do they buy? They buy things that they're aware of will solve their problems, get them closer to their goals, whether their goals are to look better, feel better, be better. It's all just getting better. Which thing are they going to buy? Or to look different, feel different. It's either they're looking to get better or they're looking to do something totally different. Not getting better at what they're currently doing, but make a total change. And um, when people buy those things, they're aware of what they do and what they solve. And so you need to build the awareness of the problem you solve or the problem that's out there so that people who identify with those problems will engage with you. So when we run your ads, for example, one of the hooks I believe is your voice always cracking when you're trying to speak to a room? We said that in less than 3 seconds. And every person that stays after that probably has voice cracking because they're actually paying attention to a problem, right? And now those people, Facebook, TikTok, whoever, is saying, hey, these are the people most likely to watch this, random demographics. Let's show that to more people like the people already watching. And now you can make more people aware of if their voice is already cracking and people who
Now,
identify that
this
you have a
is
solution.
this is really important. It's like awareness is a big word, can mean a lot of things, but in your vernacular, awareness means in that ad, they see the ad in the first few seconds, are they aware of the problem you solve? Because if they are, they'll know right away whether they have that problem. And if they have,
They're already aware of the problems in their life most of the time, or they're
yeah,
at least aware of the problems, if not the cause. And there's only so many problems. I don't look good. I don't feel good. I'm not making enough money.
right,
And then pretty much, and I am lonely. Pretty much every other problem in life stems from like if you were to break those down.
yeah.
And so like if they don't look good or feel good about their voice, they don't sound good, they are self-conscious about it, it immediately triggers something to pay attention. My voice used to crack all the time. When
And
you said
this
you could help with that, it was good.
and this is so, so true and so, so important because using me as an example, what I do, most people are not even aware that there are vocal coaches for speakers. They know they have a problem, but they aren't aware that anybody can solve that problem. So as
And
you
there's a
say,
reason why your ads don't say, if you need a vocal coach, I'm Paul. Because
right,
most people don't know they need a vocal coach. They don't even know what that is. So we don't even
no,
talk about that.
right. And that's a really important thing. So the kind of when you say awareness, you're very specific in your meaning. Can you make the viewer of your ad aware of a connection between a problem they know they have and a potential solution in those first few seconds? Because if you can, then they're going to watch. And all the people that show up on my calls, and I said, we've always been able to run ads and then make money. And what I mean by that even more specifically is, another way to think about it is, if we run ads and nobody buys anything from us, we're helping 0 people. And while we're in business and we need to make money so we can pay our bills and all that, most of us in business are in business because we have some desire to help people be better at something. And so if we're running ads and nobody's signing up and nobody's using the service, I'm helping no one. And that is worse to me than anything. So understanding this really great connection to awareness. Now, I will say when I sat down with you and we started to talk and we were thinking about running ads for the very first time, I would say I was not really aware at all of that concept of awareness. That's something that was new to me, to understand what that was. And seeing it in action and seeing it work, we run 30 to 45-second ads. People sign up for a call and then they get on a discovery call, their free first lesson. The only thing they've seen is that 30 or 45-second ad.
And they're buying your product.
And they get on that call and it's our discovery call. It's their free first lesson. And in the first lesson, what would we do? We would talk to them and understand their situation, what their problem is, the causes of their particular unique problems. and then talk about whether it's even possible if we could help them. And people get on the call and they immediately start to share what their problem is, what their situation is, and what they've been doing and why it hasn't worked. And it's amazing because just that 30 or 45-second ad opens them up on that call to just start to share, because they have something deep inside of them that says, I want to solve this. And when they get on that call, one of the things we always hear is, I had no idea that I could even solve this problem. And it's really amazing to me how that works. Seeing it work, it's great. I just am, I love that. I think that's one of the true values you bring to people, is you help them walk through this process of being able to create awareness in just, let's use the number 3, in 3 seconds.
Yeah,
and
yeah. And
that's in your head.
Yeah, and media team. I mean, team is an acronym. Tell everyone about me. That's what everybody needs, right? Like, it's even in the Bible. Like, tell your people about me, right? It's in everything. It's in every like movie too. You know, there's like the star, and you need people to share your stuff. And if they don't have the opportunity, if let's say you say that problem, Paul, and my voice doesn't crack, but I know one of my best friend's voice cracks all the time. I can send him that video without even watching the rest. And it's now more shareable because it's actually valuable, like information that you might be diving into. And your ads, they're not just ads. You do talk about a problem, you talk about a solution slightly, and then you engage them to come to the step further where there's another video on that screen that talks through what that means. Some people don't even watch it. Some people just read the same problems at the bottom, and other people will watch the video and not read anything. So at the end of the day, you know, tell everyone about me, tell everyone about my message at the same time. And we want to help people like yourself. There, you told me on our first call, on our discovery call, that your voice is linked to everything. It's you said a specific statement that I cannot remember right now, but you said that your voice is basically the cornerstone of your confidence. And I don't know exactly the way you've said it, but I remember being like, wow, that is so true. If you're not confident in how you speak, it's going to affect so many other areas of your life. And so what you provide actually helps people, and people who have that problem are actually driving themselves nuts over it, whether it be stuttering or their voice cracking or all the other things that you solve. That's amazing. And I get to help people find you every day. You get to make some money in the process. And like, we get to bring these ideas about something really cool that you do and provide people to life. We get to give birth to those ideas. People watch those ideas, then they buy from those ideas. Everyone wins in the process. Nobody loses.
It
And
is cool.
it's a fun game.
Listen, running your own business and working with people like you makes running your own business a lot of fun, because we get to do a lot of good things. I know we're doing something in a couple weeks together. Maybe talk about how you help people with that sort of thing too.
Yeah, so we have a media day coming up, and that's how we got our start. So in college, our very first client, very first service we fulfilled was a video shoot. We went and got videographers from the university department who are studying cinematography, film, etc. And then we went and got graphic designers for people that were going to help us with graphics and posts and thumbnails, and photographers. Most of these people were working for the sports center, you know, filming videos, doing things. We brought them together. We asked them the best shots, the best scenes. How can we make this person look the best? And then we wrote the ideas and scripts for what they should talk about on their social media. We've now done that hundreds, if not thousands of times.
Thousands of times.
Yeah, and we do them virtually too. And so sometimes I'm now skilled enough that I can come solo with a camera, with lighting gear, and my scripts. And my team will usually write the scripts for me or with me, or we'll analyze someone's content first. Like, you already have ads that work, so we're just going to take the same ads you filmed from your computer and make them better. And that's a really cool part of the process. But this media day allows us to show up and get all the things we need, those assets, the foundations of those assets that we need for months at a time. You filmed your ads 5 months ago. We've been using the same ones for 5 months. And people say you need to film new ads all the time, make new ads all the time. We had you film yours from your computer or your phone. You gave us 11 videos, 10 videos in a VSL. And now we get to go make, 100, and that's going to last you another year.
Yeah. I'm excited about the media day. I just want to check the time. I didn't want to go 3 hours like some other people do in their podcasts.
I like those podcasts. Joe Rogan, he's got a good show.
Yeah. So, although I could say we could talk about this for 3 hours, talk to me a little bit more about metrics. How do you make sure, I'm bouncing around a little bit, but that's fun too. So metrics, how do you make sure that people are managing by their metrics, meaning they're watching their metrics and they're making adjustments by what they see?
It starts with what they sell and how much it costs. If they sell I have an offer calculator I use for every product I work in. It tells me what my acceptable cost per click is, acceptable cost per lead.
And that's different for every product.
Correct.
Beautiful.
Because it's based off of a factor, percentage, like a factor, and then we just enter in the value of that product. We enter in the value of the first order. We enter in the value of the lifetime, and then we get what our like first order metrics need to be to get people like in the door, so to speak. And then what we can afford to be if every single customer actually does the full lifetime value. And then where we land is a short-term focus KPI, like let's get the ads in dialed in within this. And then once we're actually collecting, have lifetime revenue, et cetera, we can afford for our ads to be a little bit more expensive. Obviously, we don't want them to be. We're going to keep managing them, but we're able to evaluate that and also find a sweet spot in the middle.
All things I would have no idea how to do. How did you learn to do all of that?
Well, it started with a video shoot 10 years ago. And then we did more of those. And then clients started to say, hey, all this content's really great. And I like everything you're posting, but how am I making money? Like, it really does look great. I really like this. And it's really valuable. And we look really good. And these photos and videos are cool. But I do need to get customers. And even though we're getting likes and comments and shares, I don't know. Like, people are saying they saw us on social media on our site on the button, but it's not so many that I can afford to spend this. And so we were like, okay, well, let's take the videos and let's use them for ads then. Let's promote what you sell. And so we ran ads and we ran them to their websites. And they said, hey, we're getting a lot of clicks and a lot of calls, but now we're spending more on ads. And we think this is working. It's going well, but people say social media, we have with sales. How can we make this better? And we're not a website company. So we learned how to build landing pages, and we said, instead, we'll control the landing page in the site and we'll send people there. Having to solve those problems every time a client brought us a problem and being willing to solve those problems. And some of my clients have been with us for 6 years. Being willing to take those problems on every time has unlocked all these different pieces of knowledge in our system.
I asked you that question on purpose because I wanted to hear that story, because I'm going to say again, your knowledge is very organic. And when I'm talking to you and we're doing work together, I can sense that the things you're saying come from a very organic place. And one of the things that I say is, I know people who have a lot of theoretical knowledge, but I wouldn't work with them or pay them any money. Because organic knowledge that is practical and executable is far greater. And I really sense that when I'm working with you. That's a
I appreciate that. It makes it difficult to not answer things from a long-winded perspective, but I feel like it's a disservice not to give a complete answer, because some clients will immediately grasp everything I'm sharing from a technical level, or they'll get their metric sheets or whatever. And now we're speaking the same language because I'm not holding back. And now that we're saying the same things about our call booking rates or opt-in rates or our cost per click or whatever, they know how to lead their teams or their side of the equation. They know the purpose in everything that we're doing without becoming marketing experts. They don't know what to click. They don't know, how to do the thing, but they get what's working and what needs to change. And so we're able to move faster. And most of my clients are collaborative relationships like ours, where give the blueprint, we get started, and then there are metrics that need to improve, and we can't improve every one of those metrics on our own. In your case, there were originally calls we booked that you're saying, I feel like I can close more of these calls. I need to work on this script.
Yeah,
And then we got into go ahead.
the biggest part of that is I'm doing a disservice to people who saw the ad, signed up, and put in the time to get on that call. If when they get on that call and I don't know what I'm doing and I don't give them the opportunity to get the service that they need, then I'm the block. I'm the constraint in the system. And I did say to you, I'm the constraint in the system. And I remember we turned off ads until I fixed that. Because we can't have that. We can't generate people, have them show up, and then not know how to help them so they can decide whether they need the service or not.
Yes,
So
and
really
those collaborative experiences, being able to also look at both sides of the equation and say, okay, people are showing up on my calendar. Maybe there's something I need to improve. I mean, that's one of the key things in all of our best relationships and clients we've worked with the longest is that we both have unique skills. I'm a member of your team. I can't build the business for you. There's this part I can't solve, but I can get people on your calendar, right? Or we can get people on your lead magnet list
and
or
that's
whatever.
another saying. You can get people on the calendar, but will they show up? Remember, we had an issue with that, but we made all kinds of changes there too. And now people that book show up.
Exactly.
That's one of the most powerful things that you can fix. If you get 10 people who are going to book a call and only 5 of them show up, well, what happened to the other 5? And what do you need to do so that they feel comfortable showing up? Because you're spending the same money whether 10 show up or 5 show up. So you might as well make it so that and that's a great metric to monitor, watch, and fix if it's not what it should be.
And the beauty of it, Paul, is you have that problem and you're a solo one-man show business. We have local businesses that have that problem, that have a front desk and a provider and 10 services, right? And then we have B2B companies that have that problem, that have 7 sales reps and their only job is sales. You solve the problem the same way. Better follow-up, more follow-up, tighter, follow-up. The different parts of the car work the same. The tires are flat. Let's air it up, and that's the beauty of it. Once our clients see those parts in the metrics, they can help contribute to fixing that. And we don't have to pull out every answer we need because they see the same problems as us and we can work on our parts and they're able to work on theirs. It's so fun. It's very collaborative. It really feels like being a part of multiple teams, winning teams at the same time. And we're blessed to be a part of your team, man. It's an awesome experience.
Well, I'm lucky to have you guys. So I love working with you. Anything else you want to share? Because we're running up against the edge of the hour and I have another call coming up, but this has been great. I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours about that. I could talk for hours and hours and hours just on metrics, but some people know that and then they run away. So we don't want to do that.
Yeah, same. I definitely don't want to techno babble anybody, but I would just leave everybody with an opportunity to get a free video edit, just like you got started with at Media Team. So you can go to mediateam.ai and get started with our team.
Yeah, for that, send you a video through your process there. You'll do the edit and give it back to them. And I promise if you do that, you will love the video you get back. And you'll wonder, if you're a guy like me, you'll wonder, who is that guy in the video? He looks so good. But that's not your doing. It's great. They do a great job.
Thanks. I appreciate it. And thanks for having me here today.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you joining us. And folks, thanks for watching. Tristan, where do they go again to connect with you?
You can go to mediateam.ai. So you can go to your browser, right? Mediateam.ai. And then you can also go to @Tristan Parmley on every social media channel. I'm really easy to find. There's only one of me.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So that's good. So folks, get connected with Tristan. He's great. You will love it as I do. And I want to thank you for joining us. Remember, if you do have struggles with confidence with your speaking, you can also reach out to me. You can go to prvocalcoaching.com. And there, up in the right-hand corner, is a little button. It says on it, Discovery Call. You click that, and you can set up a discovery call with us. And if you click that button, you'll actually go to the landing page that Tristan has created. That's where they go to set up a call. And then you get all our little stuff that comes and everything that helps you understand why, whether you want to do it and all that. So it's great fun. But you can do that, and we'll connect with you that way. But thank you for watching. We got lots of other episodes you can go watch, lots of great guests. And until next time, be safe, be well, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.